player. But if you got a quota, then stay away from toddlers. These bitches are fight promoters. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Train your toddler. Please train your toddler. Whippings, timeouts, take her allowance. Cause also she will destroy your life if you allow it. Fucking, I'm tired of rapping. Yo, low, bring in the choir. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare.
Niggas need to stop giving these.
Man, welcome to the Dirty Folks Daycare. I am your tolerologist, Dirty Folks, and I appreciate y'all being here, man. I went through my Willie beaming, so I know this is going to be a great show. For some reason, every time I'm going to have a great show, 2 minutes before the show, I got to go to the bathroom. So I apologize for being late. Yo, let's get it popping. Let's get straight to it. So, there's a lot of debauchery going on in the world today, man. Like, there's a lot of colored behavior in the Chicagos. They always talking about Chicago, always. Detroit, St. Louis, Atlanta now. But all those people grew up in Mississippi.
Hell no. To the no. Yeah.
So, man, we never really talk about the source. The whole west side of Chicago is everybody grandma grew up in Mississippi. Detroit, the same thing. Cleveland, the same thing. All the places where you be like, yo, I never want to visit there, including Mississippi. Our people from Mississippi. So maybe we should go back down to the culture of Mississippi. But before we do, there was a cartoon called The City Wolf, Country Wolf. I'm going to do it in 2 parts. I'm going to do the middle first and then the beginning and the end second. So this is like a Marvel Comics thing. We in the multiverse right now. We starting on in the middle. So the Country Wolf goes visits his cousin, the City Wolf, in New York City. And he loses his mind. Let's check this out. Maybe I should speed it up a little bit so they don't flag me too bad. Here's the thing. What made me think about that is good old Mississippi, right? There were all these former sharecroppers, farmers, industrial workers who were like, yo, Mississippi doesn't really have much popping. I want to go to St. Louis. I want to go to Memphis. I want to go to Chicago. I know how to sing. I want to go to Detroit. Because back then, Detroit was Motown, right? It wasn't Atlanta back then. It was Detroit. So they're like, yo, man, we want to go up north and have a better life. So that's Country Wolf saying, yo, it's time to go to the city. And these Mississippi people came to the city and did not know how to act, man. I promise you. They found all type of debauchery to happen because they were looking for excitement. Just like toddlers do, right? They wanted excitement. They joined gangs. They shot dice. Because in the South, they had the black code. You couldn't shoot dice on the street. They could shoot dice in Chicago. They could shoot dice in Detroit. They could shoot heroin in Chicago and Detroit too, apparently. And they went through all those things, and they created 2 different Mississippi cultures. That's very important to remember. 2 different Mississippi cultures, not 2 different just regular cultures, Mississippi cultures. I'm going to show you all this. But before I show you all this, I'm going to go back to the original. What's the name, real quick? y'all really sat and thought about it, right? Outside of New York, because New York is New York, and New York is like a melting pot for the world. So you'll always get your downtrodden, your whatever it is, huddled masses searching to be free, because it's New York. But once you get outside of New York, and to an extent, LA, this is what you're looking at. Oh, there you go. Mississippi. Look at where they went to. They went to East St. Louis and Peoria, Illinois, and St. Louis, Missouri. That's Mississippi. Then they travel all the way up to Chicago. This is all part of the Great Migration, right? They go to Chicago. Chicago is Mississippi North. You know what I mean? Detroit, Northeast Mississippi. Alabama and Mississippi are so close together. Birmingham, Alabama is the sister city to Jacksonville, Mississippi. But if you go to Atlanta, Atlanta is full of Alabama girls who's trying to get a fast life, then go back to Alabama after she want to strip. She want to go to Magic City, then go back to Birmingham like she ain't did nothing. So the sister city of Mississippi is now Atlanta, with all the people who third generation Mississippi, right? So you go from Mississippi to Chicago, fuck up Chicago because they locusts, and then move to Atlanta. Or you go to Detroit. Detroit shut down, you move to Atlanta. You move to St. Louis. Grandma's still in Mississippi, though. You move to St. Louis, boom, now you end up in Atlanta. So Atlanta is like a surrogate Mississippi. And now everybody's leaving Atlanta and going to Houston. Shout out to Mineral Mitch. So now that's going to be New Mississippi. Houston going to be New Mississippi, man. Now, the reason that Mississippi was poor, and I had to think about what order I was going to do this in, but let's start here. The reason that Mississippi is so poor is because Mississippi was so racist, right? Racism put Mississippi in a state of generational poverty, and I'm about to explain to you why. Back during Jim Crow, right after slavery was over, and I want to explain this to you. I'm about to show you a video that explains it too. But before I push play to this video, I want to explain to you the hidden history, because this video is really about Asian Americans, but I'm gonna tell you the black side. Black people weren't patronized when they opened up stores in their own communities. So racism said, yo, we're not going to even partition, we're not even going to allow black people to open up stores in their community. We got to find a different group, because white people don't want to do it. So we got to find a different group to serve them. This is about Asia. Right now, y'all can go to y'all stores right now. It ain't going to be nothing but Arabs and Orientals. Right now, there's very few black business owners in black communities. The gas stations are Arab. The liquor store is Arab. The laundromat is Chinese. The restaurants probably Chinese. You got a couple of soul food spots, and you be like, oh, it's a black-owned business. The fact you have to call it a black-owned business in a black community instead of just calling it a business is part of sanctions, right? So this was the origin of that, though. Let's check this out. Maybe I should the value.
San Francisco's Chinese fought exclusion. In this part, we'll visit the Mississippi Delta, where a Chinese community has played an unexpectedly important role. The Mississippi Delta, home of the blues, endless fields of green, and a land cultivated by the hands of slaves. But in between, for more than 100 years, the Delta has also been home to a small but influential Chinese community that's been navigating an identity that's both American and Chinese.
Like that, and
all the time to go. Honey, I'm gonna run in and get the corn. We need to stir fry that. Let me get that.
This is Sally and Gilroy Chow, and this is their 46-year-old walk. We heard about these dinner parties they throw to get together with friends and eat Southern-style Chinese food. Like the Chinese of the time, Sally's parents opened and...
Let's go up a little bit because they're taking too long. So here's the type of convenience stores that Chinese were able to open. I'm gonna tell y'all. Well, they're gonna tell y'all the real story, but they're telling you from the Asian point of view. I'm gonna tell you from the Mississippi black point of view after they finish. Let's go.
Another house.
Like most of the Delta Chinese of the time, Sally's parents opened and ran a grocery store. The Chinese originally came here to work in the cotton fields. With the end of slavery, plantation owners could no longer depend on the free labor of slaves. So they looked to the Chinese, who were cheap, disposable, and politically voiceless. But with harsh conditions and little pay, working in the fields didn't last long. They soon started opening grocery stores in small towns up and down the Delta.
I mean, it was a phenomenon. When I think about how the Chinese came and just settled in the Delta from Memphis to...
I need y'all to understand they settled in the Delta, right? Across the Mississippi River. All of their stores are across the Mississippi River. This is, I don't care where you are anywhere in the world, the most valuable land is next to a water source, right? But in Mississippi, this is the poorest area in Mississippi. It makes absolutely no logistical sense why the riverbed is the most impoverished part of Mississippi. The Delta is the most impoverished part. It makes no sense. The only other place that was built by a water source that was poor is Cleveland. There's places that got poor because they became too expensive and too populated, but so you got the Calis and the Miamis and the Chicagos and the New Yorks, but it's very rare that you see a water source town, like a whole series of towns that don't really have much bread. Once again, I'll explain it, but I just wanted to bring that down because that's what we're going to explore today. We're going to explore the Mississippi Delta, but I want y'all to understand how we got there historically, 100 some odd years ago. Bring it back a little bit.
Settled in the Delta from Memphis to Vicksburg. I mean, just look at it. It really filled a particular need because nobody else wanted to do it.
These stores played a uniquely important...
I was just about to go here. It's not that nobody else wanted to do it. It was the segregation. I haven't watched the video past where I just push pause right now. Hopefully they show it. There are photos of two cashiers, one for white people, one for black people in the exact same store. Like white people wouldn't even stand in line in front of or behind a black person. They had to have two registers open at all times to capitulate for racism. And the reason that the Chinese were able to get these stores, they bought these stores from black people. Because black people were picking cotton and they took their slave wages and they took their minimum wages and they bought stores, but white people would not partition them. So the black people couldn't keep the stores based on the small amount of money they were making just from other sharecroppers. So they sold the stores to the Orientals. This is a reoccurring theme in American history. Migrants coming in, opening up shops, and they subjugate the colors. Very, very common trope in American history. But let's see if they show the two different lines, two different lanes.
important role in the segregated South, serving the black community when the white community wouldn't. And this was significant because it meant more than 70% of the population got their groceries and everyday goods from a tiny Chinese community. Frida's family store in Minsang started out in the 1930s as...
Well, let's stop. Let's go back to those numbers real quick. You telling me 345, triple the amount of any other group. You're telling me out of all 345,000 blacks, you didn't have 5 or 6 smart black guys that was like, yo, I want to open up a store and serve my own people. Now, the white had the money because they had the industry. But with the just sheer population, just manpower and labor, you think nobody was like, yo. And they fresh out of slavery, so they built the stores because slavery was nothing but agriculture and architecture, building houses, building barns, and farming land. They built the stores and then couldn't maintain the stores they built because nobody would partition them. But just 743 Chinese. That's just like the Arabs now. That's just like the Palestinians that come to America now and open up liquor stores. And you can't find a black-owned liquor store in a black community, but there's all type of Arab-owned liquor stores in black communities. Anyway, I digress.
Community. Frida's family store in Minsang started out in the 1930s as two different buildings across the street from each other, one serving black people, the other serving white people. Neither black nor white, the Chinese community found themselves in the middle.
It was like a 3-lane road. There were the whites and the blacks and the Chinese. We all stayed in our lanes and we were fine until we crossed over.
The Chinese grocers depended on the black community for business and also served them in very practical ways. Like when Jean
Like the Arabs depend on black people for business. You know what? I'm going to let it rock one more minute. I'm going to go to the next video. I want to prove a point.
father's customers couldn't pay for their groceries right away, he let them use credit.
People didn't have that much cash, and so he would have credit, and they would come in 1 week, pay a little bit on their bill, and then take out more. And that was just kind of how they survived.
This kind of trust was essential because of the economic burden non-whites faced. Where Jean grew up, the median annual income for whites was just over $4,000, more than 4 times the median income of non-whites. Over dinner, Sally and Gilroy's friends had plenty of...
Let's stop right there. So the Chinese left from building the railroads to coming into black communities to quote-unquote ex-slave lands, Jim Crow lands, to take black jobs. So even if blacks were sharecroppers, the Chinese wanted to do that, right? Because they were low-wage workers like the Mexicans were in the 1980s, but you see how they working out and how you got all these migrants coming in now, right? They're planning for 2 generations. They want their grandkids to do better than them. They not like the baby boomer blacks who want to leave their house to their bitch. Leave their sons and daughters fucked up. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll forever young. They were playing as you should for my grandkids, right? So they were working hard, doing black people's jobs, taking over black people's businesses because black people couldn't sustain without white dollars. That's why all this buy black and support black is dumb shit, bro. Man, look, black people own 1 penny out of dollar. I need them other 99 cents, my nigga. Let's check out the Mississippi Delta. While I load this up, because I know they're going to run a commercial because they hate me. Man, support the show, man.
Dirty Folks needs your support. Please donate to the Daycare Fund.
Do you have some change?
All right, so we're exploring how the Mississippi Delta was full of black people. However, none of them had any money. That was from the early 1900s into the 1950s, 60s. Let's speed it up to the 2020s. We're gonna be here for a minute. Let's speed this up to the 2020s. Damn, 4 commercials. This shit's crazy. Damn, 4 commercials. That is insane. So there is a one of these guys who just travel around. You've seen the type of videos. They go from place to place, space to space, and they just explore America. You know what I'm saying? Highway bros. They not passport bros. They They iPads bros. But check this out. Let's the poorest region in the deep south, the Mississippi Delta. That's what it says up here. We went from one of the most thriving, at least for Asians, areas in Mississippi 100 years later, the poorest region of the deep south. Racism. All right, let's go.
And so a lot of people left this region. You're the mayor here?
Yes, I am.
Shut down gas stations, a sad sight. What's going on in Shelby?
No.
You're gonna pop those when you close that. Oh my God. So they had their ceremonies up here. I never thought this would exist in Mississippi. Under 200,000 though, you could get a really nice home
Yes,
here.
you can.
Greenville is definitely split in between two worlds right now. Delta girls know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Cornbread.
Oh, I love me some cornbread.
There's just a lack of hope with many people in small town America. Most people just want to go to.
You know what, let me speed this up because he's going backwards. He's showing highlights, but he's in Alligator, Mississippi, population 180. That's a nice sized town. Like, that would be a good tribal town. But anyway, Alligator, Mississippi.
How you doing, sir? Is this downtown Alligator?
This the whole alligator.
Oh, okay.
The guy used to own it.
Hold on, man. He says it's downtown Alligator. My man said this is the whole Alligator. Now, one street is the whole Alligator. And it was owned by one man. Shout out to that. Try Buck. All right, let's check it out.
How you doing, sir? Is this downtown Alligator?
This the whole alligator.
Oh, okay.
The guy used to own the liquor store up there, Mr. Bruno and Mr. Brimley. They dead and gone, but they put alligators in the lake, and that's why they started calling it alligator.
Okay. Do you like it here?
Let me be honest with you. You got a few noses around here try to get in your business, but other than that, it's nice going down. You got a few noses around here try to dip your nose in other folks' business.
Oh, small town stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know everyone's beef.
Sometimes you might have to hit them in the nose. I done hit a couple of them in the nose around here.
That's how you defeat alligators, too. Hit them in the nose. That's what I heard.
No, take my advice. Do them like I do them. I stay the hell away from them. I'm talking about the alligator. They don't mess with me, I don't mess with them.
Yeah, mutual respect. Take care, sir.
You too.
Good alligator advice when you're in the South. So this is it.
Hey, real quick. A city of 180. I need y'all to, for those who grew up in a decent-sized city with 100,000 people or more, there's normally 60 homes on your block, both sides of the street. Whether you live in townhouses, whether you have a backyard or not. 60 homes with a family of 4 is 240 people. It doesn't seem like you know 240 people when you walk into the corner store, but you know 240 people. You know the kids, and you know the kids got parents. You know, it's actually doing the Chicago name Gator, folks. Fuck Gator. Anyway, so, bro, they whole town is like 1 block long. That's why my man was like, is this downtown Alligator? He was like, this is Alligator. Nigga, 1 block. And he talking about people in your business. Y'all live on the same block, nigga. Everybody know each other. Like, nigga, your girlfriend probably also your third cousin, nigga. It's only 180 people in your town, my G. Like, what the fuck you expect? Anyway, I digress.
Guessing that's some government housing over there, those brick homes. Looks like it, at least. And you've had a lot of people that have left this region. At one time, there was a lot of manual labor, well, far back slave labor, in these cotton fields. And then machinery took over. So there was the Great Migration up to cities like Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago. And so a lot of people left this region. You got the post office here. Well, this one's locked. Lobby hours 7:15 to 9:15.
The reason I put lead generation on a license plate of the Lamborghini because it's still.
Yo, that's crazy. Hey, that's like my post office, y'all. It's supposed to be open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., but them postal workers, they don't be working. They only work 2 hours down here. That's crazy. Basically, this is a town with no gas station, no stores. Wait, I'm going to let him talk to one more person. Then we're going to go to the next town.
Let's talk to this guy. Seems like a local. What was Alligator before?
Farming community. At one time, there was 3 different gins here. You can still, the current one's right around that corner there.
Oh, cotton gins.
Yeah. And the oldest one was sitting out there.
Okay.
And then there was another one that sits back here on this road right behind this shed here.
So when did that dry up?
Probably about the 80s. They were just...
Hey, real quick, I'm bringing it back a little bit. I'm not going to interrupt every time they say it, but the 1990s was the apex of American culture. That's why these kids still rapping. They can't even make new music. They still rapping like the 90s. Every town they go to in Mississippi, they're going to talk about how everything shut down in the 1980s and 90s. They're not going to talk about Jim Crow. They're not going to talk about the Great Migration, because the Great Migration was like in the 1950s. There's going to be something about Reaganomics and Al Gore discovering the internet affected these country towns the most. So when the times in which you're supposed to be the most connected is when these towns got the most disconnected. We're going through the same thing right now with social media, with this whole metaverse shit. Like when you went outside, you knew all your neighbors. Now you on your phone, you don't even know who live in the next apartment next to you. It's a strange thing. But anyway, let's keep it pimping.
So when did that dry up?
Probably about the 80s. They were just tenant houses all over the places. I mean, every road you go out would have a line of houses on it.
Oh, really?
And that all this innovation on farming did away with all that labor.
Okay, so just way less jobs.
Right.
Gotcha.
Way less. I mean, one man farm 1,000 acres now where it used to take 10 men.
So in the 70s and 80s, you had people out there picking cotton?
Oh, yeah.
And how much were they getting paid back in those days?
Slavery ain't dead. Y'all niggas just scared. Slavery ain't dead. Y'all niggas just scared. Oh, my God. They were still picking cotton in the 1980s. Man, shout out to them, man. Anyway.
It's like minimum wage job, or?
It had to be early 70s. No, the cotton pickers and cotton choppers did not make minimum wage. How they got by that, they was getting like a straw boss.
Straw boss, what's that?
That's the leader. And they would pay him so much. And then he would hire the choppers or whatever.
Okay.
And then pay them out of his pocket. And that's how they got by with it,
Okay, straw boss would pay the workers whatever he could get away with.
Right.
He'd pocket the rest. Something like that.
Hey, them goddamn shirtless forest dudes took over agriculture. Straw boss ain't nothing but a straw man. Oh my God, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
But it just, I don't know, this was a whole line of buildings. It had this little gap in it.
Okay.
There were stores in every one of them. This store here on the end.
Yep.
Man died in January of last year.
Okay.
And they recently shut it down.
What was that, like a general store?
Yeah. Yeah, they did cooking, sandwiches and all that stuff.
Okay.
Cold drinks and, all the farmers usually went there for lunches and stuff. And,
are you a farmer?
Yeah.
Okay.
You better be in this area, that's all there is, There's no factories or nothing here.
So you still have work, though?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Good for you.
But there was 6 convenience stores here at one time.
Just all along this row?
Right. This was an office building here for a farmer. Chinaman had a store, and then there was
Chinaman?
Yeah.
Chinese guy?
Yeah.
Out here?
Yeah. Then there was a Jewish guy.
Racism ain't dead either, baby. Tribalism ain't dead. Real quick, man. You notice everything shut down when the boomers died. When he was talking about the sandwich shop and the office space, the boomers don't leave nobody nothing, bro. Tribe up.
Had a store. Then there was a black guy that had a store.
Okay.
So they all was represented.
You guys get along pretty well out here?
Oh yeah. We don't have no problem. We don't have no law or nothing.
Do you have police out here?
Nope. Well, we can call the county, which is 30 miles away.
There once was a demon.
All right, we're gonna go to the next city. That's gonna be a reoccurring thing. No police, and I've been in towns like that. There's a town right outside of Memphis, like an hour outside of Memphis. And Memphis is rowdy, but you go an hour outside of Memphis, and they got towns with no police. They just have like one sheriff that patrols like 40 miles. And this is where I'm going with this. We're going to explore. We're about to go to the next town. How are all their children and their grandchildren criminals? All their children and grandchildren moved away. Even the Shannon Sharp story, when Shannon Sharp talked about being raised in Vidalia, Georgia, on a farm with an outhouse. Grandma and grandpa got holes in the roof. They weren't criminals. They were still peaceful, poor people. His mama moved to Chicago. Shannon and Sterling Sharp was born in Chicago. Their mom moved to Chicago, slept with a dude, got pregnant by him twice, then moved back home. Well, took her kids back to Georgia. She didn't even live there. Dropped her kids off because, black women are such great parents, And Shannon and Sterling was raised by their grandmother. And his sister, too. But I can't remember her name. And she's not important because she don't do shit. Anyway, and Shannon's dad fought for custody for him for 4 years, going back and forth from Chicago to Vidalia, Georgia. And the court system got involved even back then. And that's how we ended up with his grandparents. Not even with his mom, but his mama's mama. So every time they leave these small communities, they go to a big city and just get in trouble, bro. That's all they do is create havoc. Anyway, but let's go to the next town. Let's go to the next town. I don't know the name of this town, but let's see. Let's go back a little bit.
There.
That's the mayor.
Tommy, you're...
Yo, Peter, Tommy the mayor. Hey, I'm going to show y'all something. I ain't going to interrupt Tommy. I'm going to let Tommy rock. But the mayor in a small town don't give a fuck, bro. Look, he got the pistol on him, bro. Right here, under his right arm. Tommy ain't know who this white man was with a camera. Tommy came packing. That's why I don't need no pistols. The mayor shooting pistols, nigga. The mayor shooting pistols. Apparently, the mayor Tommy is a tribal warlord, but he broke though. Let's go.
You're the mayor here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what's going on in Alligator?
Well, right now it's pretty quiet. I'm trying to keep it peace. But, we're suffering for business right now because we just had Gator's Grocery to close on us. Marianne Grocery closed.
This one right over here?
Right.
A small store like this shutting down, it does affect the town, you're saying?
Oh, yes. It's called a convenience store because it's convenient. Now they have to drive. Some people don't have transportation, and, it's hard on them, you know what I mean?
Where do you go for groceries?
Well, we go to Clarksdale or Cleveland, and,
Clarksdale's what, 20 miles?
13 miles. Trying to get a Dollar General or something going on around here. But
so you guys want the Dollar General?
Right, we want it.
Okay. They're all over Appalachia. They're all over the South.
I don't understand. It's a 13-mile radius either way.
So
you know what I mean?
Let's talk the general manager of Dollar General. We need to get them here outside Alligator.
Yeah, we want to get them here.
On the main road.
I actually spoke to them already, but they haven't gave me any response. They say only thing they say they was checking on it. So
keep at it.
Yeah. They still want $5,000 for that.
For this little lot right here. Yeah. You think it's gonna happen?
Never, not in my lifetime.
What price would sell that today? 2,000?
Yeah, I would say. I can tell you one thing. It's best to be in a small town. What's going on in the situation we're in, because more in the smaller towns is not being recognized. If you had a war, what you think the first thing they're gonna hit? The big cities.
Yo, he think like me, man. He keep the pistol on him, man. He think like me. That man just want a Dollar General. Get that man a Dollar General, man.
Small things, you'll waste your missiles trying to find alligator.
So you're thinking big global conflict.
Exactly.
And you want to be in the small towns?
Exactly.
Okay.
So what would
Have
you
you always
want?
thought like that, or that's a new thing?
Well, it made me think like that when the situation we got going on now. You know what I'm saying? Everything is very touchy, and you know we got hands-on.
You guys
influence.
feel that out here in the countryside?
Yes, we do.
It's like the country and the world is
and
a bit touchy.
we get prepared for it. You know, a lot of us get prepared for it, and you know we can live off the grid. You know, with power outages.
That's true.
And going out and getting your own food and
no, if things got really bad, communities like this, I think, are much better off than this. The cities will just be violent.
City with chaos.
3 days. All you need is the grid to go down for 3 days, and it's just mayhem.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone's killing each other for food.
But here's
and
a
whatnot.
big difference.
Here you wouldn't have to, I don't think.
Exactly.
All
Here
right.
you wouldn't.
Can will you guys let me in, my wife and I, to move here?
We're more than happy for you,
I'll
man.
buy that lot. If it gets really bad, I'm in.
Yeah, man, we'll be more than happy to have you, man. I'm always welcoming the people to the community.
Okay.
We are trying to grow, you know what I'm saying? We're not just stabilized, we're trying to grow now.
Okay, Mayor.
But in order to grow...
He keep it on him, man. He keep it on him. Let's go to the next town, man. Let's go to the next town. I know they're going to run a commercial, man. While they run a commercial, I am too, man. Let's go.
Dirty folks. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. Lucius.
All right. So now we in another town. This a whole different town. Ain't shit popping. All around the Delta. All of these were the stores that were so prosperous in the Asian video we saw when they came down to these towns to support. You heard what he said. He had a Chinaman, a Semite, a black man. These were the prosperous stores that they were talking about in the first video along the Mississippi Delta. And look at the towns now.
One business with new paint, but boarded up. What's going on in Shelby?
Man, nothing.
You guys grew up here?
Yeah, we all from Shelby.
Okay, so what was it like 20 years ago?
Oh, Shelby was nice 20 years ago. Pump?
It was pumping.
Shelby was nice 20 years ago.
What was going on?
All this up here. Same thing. This time of day, we packed.
Packed with people.
Right.
Because you got nice old buildings, so there are businesses and everything?
Right. It was.
Okay.
This is a business right here in Shelby now.
What happened? The work ran out?
Shelby Daycare closed. Ripple Lab Company closed. It was a part place.
Oh.
They were making parts for German Motor.
Okay, so the parts factory shut down.
Right.
And the what?
Cotton gin shut down.
Cotton gin. Was that good work ever, doing cotton, or no?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was, because it kept the community.
Oh, yep. So what?
Real quick, man. They said 20 years ago, but I'm going to go back as far as 25, man. They talking about the 1990s. This entire community all across the Mississippi Delta was farmland. Apparently a lot of cotton. It's crazy that when you live in a city, they tell you not to do any quote-unquote slave work. So no agriculture, no construction, no picking cotton, no farming for potatoes. They shun upon that. They want you to go to school and get some stupid-ass degree in sociology or something. You know what I mean? And they want you to get away from the foundational thing. Now, I understand that they town is messed up, but it's messed up because all of the innovative thinkers left. Like, they could have been ahead of the curve. They could have tribed up a long time ago and been ahead of the curve. But instead, they're reactive instead of proactive. Because, you know, niggas marched for 70 years because they won't listen to a 7-year plan. So now they're just drinking beer. Shout out to them. Anyway.
People doing now for work?
Man, whatever they can do, man. Driving trucks. Like I said, whatever they can do.
Okay. Okay.
Plumbing.
So you guys need more industry to come back in.
Right.
You got a big birthday party or what's going on?
No, she's her mother passed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ma'am, I can put a seat down.
If that don't pop, I'm good.
You're gonna pop those when you close that. Oh my God. There we go. This poor lady just lost her mother.
Hey, do I put this under girls don't know shit? Do I put this under that? She got a whole SUV but she don't know how to put the seats down in the SUV to put the balloons in. Do I put this on the girls don't know shit? They just do shit. Never mind. Let's continue.
It was, I guess, a party for her 80th birthday, and she just passed. You want me to try closing this? If I pop one, is that okay?
That's okay. Oh, I did. See?
Oh, he helped.
So we're gonna help this woman get balloons back to her place, but that is rough. Shows you how unpredictable life is. Many of you have been through that. I've been through that. I lost my father. And for this lady, getting ready for her mother's 80th birthday, and then she passes, so that is rough.
Why did people stop using single blade razors?
Nobody watching this shit like
Yeah, from what those guys said in front of the store, seems like the jobs took off out of town. See this in so much of America, these rural areas where the jobs have taken off. Some people follow them, some people move, and others don't. Some industry needs to come in and fill the void, but then how do you get people productive and working hard and optimistic on life if they've fallen on hard times? That's really the trick I think we need to figure out in this country is.
You know what? Let's go to the next town. Let's go to the next town.
Dirty Folks needs your support. Please donate to the Daycare Fund.
Do you have some change?
Let's go to the next town. I'm making a point here. So now we're in I want to say Shelbyville, but I could be wrong. But we're in a better town now. We're in a better town now. I want y'all to know, it's two things I want y'all to notice. I'm going to tell you the second one later. But the first thing I want y'all to notice is the majority of this particular town is white. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. But let's go. Wait, what's the name of this town? Hold on, I just want to see. I just saw a sign. Greenville, Mississippi. Not Shelbyville, Greenville. Everything either green or ville, they put it together. Anyway, let's go.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, how you doing?
No gas, huh?
Yeah.
You guys are open, though.
No, we remodel.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. One new building here in town. Looks like a hotel. Downtown. Let's check it out. You can see some nice old buildings. At one time, was thriving. People up and down the streets. All these storefronts, not happening right now. There's some signs of life, though. We got that new bank there. Let's talk to these guys. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
How are things? What's going on in Greenville these days?
So doing a lot of restoration, actually.
Yeah, I see that new hotel.
Absolutely, Hotel 27. It's a nonprofit that actually gives back to the community itself and the revitalization of it. And it's
Bring that back. It's a what?
Some signs of life, though. We got that new bank there. Let's talk to these guys. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
How are things? What's going on in Greenville these days?
So doing a lot of restoration, actually.
Yeah, I see that new hotel.
Absolutely, Hotel 27. It's a nonprofit that actually gives back to the community itself and the revitalization of it. And it's through Greater Greenville Housing Restoration Association.
Cool. So Greenville is coming around right now.
Absolutely. Coming up. Yes, sir. This is actually
Cool.
a building that they're going to be doing soon, too.
Oh, that's good to hear. So these have been vacant for a while then, huh?
Yeah. Quite a while.
Yeah, about
Yes, sir.
25 years.
Wow. You guys from here?
Yes, sir. I'm born and raised
My
here.
wife is.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what?
Married a Delta girl.
Married a Delta girl. What are the characteristics of?
No, I'm not even going to go to the Delta Girl part. I want to scroll up. They still in the same town. These boys ain't talking about nothing. They going to start talking about how good the coochie is from girls in the Delta. We ain't got to hear that. That's a beautiful church. Look restored. Let's go.
Oh, very interesting. So there were Italian immigrants here to this part of Mississippi.
Yes, there was. There were Spanish and Italian immigrants that came here and built this town. A lot of the architecture and stuff you see on our churches and things on Main and Washington's gorgeous buildings, the marble on
That
things.
explains why it's so beautiful, some of these old buildings.
Yes. So we want to restore that grandeur, that luster that we used to have. There was a lot of city pride here, and we're trying to get that city pride back.
So it was firing on all cylinders in the 80s, then it went off the cliff.
It did.
And now it's coming back.
Yes.
What was it that hurt the economy back in the 80s? What happened here?
A lot of it that happened here was there was a lot of local officials that was here in town, you know, like the mayor, the city officials, and they were not doing what they should be doing. They weren't keeping up with the town. They were misappropriating funds. It was a bad time for Greenville, and it really sucked the life out of it. Now, me growing up here in the 90s when I was a teenager, here on our levee, there used to be about 4 different casinos here.
Okay.
And right around the end of the 90s, they pulled out.
Okay, so the jobs went away.
The jobs just went away. In this area, our historic downtown Greenville, it just started dying and dying and dying. All the shopping that used to have, it used to be a mecca for this was where all the shopping was. You could go right here on Main or Washington, you could park, you could go up and down the streets. There's all the local businesses, the pharmacies, you know, flower shops.
Was there any industry in town that left?
We did have the Uncle Ben's rice factory here. Now, I know that shut down, and I know they're using the factory for something else now.
Okay. So you think the secret sauce is the jobs need to come back?
Yes, and that is part of the initiative that Greater Greenville is doing with restoring historic downtown Greenville is we have more businesses on the streets that's going to equal to more jobs for people here in our community.
That's cool, Carrie.
And
You're fired up on your town.
I am. Well, I moved away for about 15 years.
Okay.
My dad's family was from South Mississippi, so we lived in Brookhaven for a while. And I wanted to move back. I felt like a draw to come home. And when I first got here, I was looking around on the internet, like seeing what's shaking up in town, what's new, what's going on here.
Yep.
And I saw this hotel, and I started reading about it because it has our mission statement on our website.
Okay.
Hold on, man. The point I wanted to get to, because she's talking a lot of, and shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. Their entire town is owned by a nonprofit foundation. When I heard that, man, I was full of joy. You guys don't understand this tribe up thing. You guys really don't understand the power of having a charter and having a mission. We don't have to live like this, man. We don't have to get passports. We don't have to do nothing. All this open land in America with fiber optics and satellites and look, bro. We can lock down any small town. If it's anything you know about a Midwest nigga, motherfuckers can lock down any small town and repurpose it, and they'll let you do it. You look at what they're going through. Like this is a takeover with no pistols, my nigga. Real quick, man, I want to give a couple shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Motivational Mitch for the $4.44 cash app. Gratitude, sir. And a shout out to Ken for the $5 cash app. Gratitude, sir. Celebrate both of y'all, man.
Tacos, tacos, and tequila. I want tacos, and tequila. Give me tacos, and tequila. I want tacos, and tequila. Get 'em.
Yo, shout out to King Simmer for the $5 super chat. Gratitude, sir. So, we're looking at a time in which manufacturing or farming, depending on how you see it, either the cotton gin or the farm, was popping in the Delta. Then they came to a situation where certain industries shut down, but they didn't replace the industry with modernized industry, right? So everybody fled because their leaderships weren't leaders. They were popular people. Let me say that again. They didn't have leaders. They had popular people. So what happened is you had a bunch of toddlers voting for, and when I say toddlers in this case, it's binary. It ain't even about gender. It's about mentality. You had a bunch of toddlers voting for the same way that they would vote for who should be class president, and that's what you came up with. You know what I mean?
Don't mess around and lose a good man because you're a toddler in your emotions.
So they ended up losing the men that would be best for the job. I will say all women, but girls
Start clean.
Girls can't count. How you gonna do a city budget? Girls can't count. So there's that. So they lost a good man because they wanted to be around the people who made them feel good instead of the people that could do well, right? It's kind of like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, like they the assholes, but they winners. All right, this last little piece I want to show y'all. There's so many times that people show you the worst of the worst. I want to do something different. I want to show y'all the best. The best places in Mississippi. The best places in Mississippi. And there's a method to the madness. Let's get to it. 10 best places to live in Mississippi. Let's go.
Can you do it now? Close your eyes and try. The U.S. state of Mississippi is more than just a champion spelling bee word. With the Gulf of Mexico to the south, and being home to the Mississippi Delta, there is a lot of history, heritage, and culture embedded in Mississippi. The Mississippi Delta region is considered to be the birthplace of blues music. Whether you're seriously looking to find a place to live in Mississippi or just shopping around to establish your options, without realizing it, there is certain criteria that you're already looking for. Low crime rates, cost of living, and quality of housing are all factors we take into consideration when scouting around for a new home. Other factors we look at are access to public schooling.
Speed this up. Starkville, Mississippi, number 10.
Here or not, be sure to stop by Stromboli's if you're in town, a true local's hidden gem and loved by all who try their Italian foodie delights. There is a friendly community of...
You know what? I am going to turn the volume slower because now you can't understand the computer voice. Starkville, Mississippi. What I'm noticing, because we're about to go right to the next city, but what I am noticing is well manicured. These are not expensive homes. I say this about the hood all the time, right? Nah, man, I switch mics. All right, so I say this all the time. If you were in Detroit, Chicago, New Orleans, New York, St. Louis, these would be project buildings. That's exactly what they look like. But if you're in a place where you care about where you live, where you don't double park next to a parking spot, where you don't sell drugs out the back door, it looks like a community. You know what I mean? That's why all the old projects are named after beautiful things, because at one time they were beautiful, right? Cabrini Greens, Allgild Gardens, Parkway Gardens, LeClaire Courts. They were all similar to this until they let single mothers move in. But it's not that much to Starksville. It's a beautiful place, but it's not that much to it. Let's go to the next town. Number 9, Olive Branch.
Branch is an outlying, southeasterly suburb of Memphis. Golfers will be pleased to hear that Cherokee Valley Golf Club is less than a 20-minute drive from any given point in the suburb.
I don't think you guys realize how close Mississippi is to Memphis, Tennessee, but there's a lot of people who live in northeast, is it? Anyway, the northern part of Mississippi, and it's technically Mississippi, but it's for the people who got money from Memphis who don't want to live in Memphis because Memphis is ghetto. It is just fucking ghetto. So, even though this is in Mississippi and it does count as Mississippi, think of it as a south suburb of Memphis. So I'm technically counting as Mississippi, but it ain't really Mississippi. It's really southern Memphis. Kind of like for those who've been in Cincinnati, Ohio, if you cross the bridge to Paducah, Kentucky, Paducah is technically Kentucky, but it's really just the south suburb of Cincinnati. It's kind of like that. Anyway, but let's check it out.
There are 35,000 people who call Olive Branch home, and there is very little to find fault with here. There are 38 outstanding schools in the Olive Branch area, making it the best public school suburb in all of Mississippi. Local people say that there are plenty of job opportunities in Olive Branch, and due to the thriving economy, job stability too. They say that there is a true sense of sincere Southern hospitality here and that families are always welcome. Number 8. West Hattiesburg. As the name would suggest, West Hattiesburg is west of the Lamar County city of Hattiesburg. Only a 15-minute drive into the city itself, this suburb is a commuter's dream. Rent here is incredibly low at just $772 a month on average. Unsurprisingly, 53% of residents live in rented accommodation. With statistics like this, you could predict that this would be a rather transient area, but there is a solid community of people here who think that living in West Hattiesburg is just great. There are few schools in the area, but being so close to Hattiesburg means that there is a wider schooling district that local children are entitled to.
Let's go to the next city. Tupelo, Mississippi. Ain't Tupelo where the casino at? I don't know. Let's see.
Tupelo is proud to be the birthplace of Elvis Presley. For avid fans of the late rock god, surely this is all you need to know about the area to warrant upping sticks and moving in. There are some fantastic job opportunities in Tupelo. Toyota, Cooper Tire, and Ashley Furniture all have workshops here, so although median annual income is just $41,400, unemployment is seldom a topic of conversation. Property prices here in Tupelo are highly desirable. Many
I'm gonna go to the next city. Yo, that's what's in Hattiesburg, University of Southern Mississippi. I ain't know that, bro. Shout out to you, bro. I've heard of Hattiesburg. It's a very popular city, but I couldn't remember what was in it. Okay, number 6, Brandon. Yo, Biloxi, you're right. Biloxi, Mississippi is where the casinos are. You're right, bro. You're right. What the fuck is in Tupelo? All right, whatever.
City of Brandon in Rankin County, Mississippi. Lying to the east of state capital Jackson, Brandon is an ideal commuter suburb for anyone whose work takes them into the city. The 22,800 people who live here are more than satisfied with what Brandon offers them. Crime in the area is low, and local people always mention how safe and secure they feel the area is. With 10 outstanding schools in the area, this is a very family-orientated suburb. Brandon has everything you could ask for and more. Form a small commuter town, grocery stores, cinemas, and parks too. Not to mention all the health provisions you would expect with a larger population like this. This is a more economically stable.
We're gonna go to the next one. I ain't got that much to say about Brandon. I want you guys to remember the name of the cities because I want to show you guys something after we see this.
And this national park area is the pride and joy of the locals who live here. Our smallest town on our list to date, Ocean Springs, is home to just 17,500 people, meaning the beach is never too overcrowded. Considering its proximity to sea, the median home value here is very, very good. Lying at an average of $146,800, you get good value for money here.
Hold on, what city is that? Ocean Springs? Is that in the Gulf? I don't think that's on the river. I think that's in the Gulf. We're gonna check though. We're gonna check. I'm gonna check for Ocean Springs.
For an investment of $124,900, you could be the proud owner of a humble 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom family home that is a matter of minutes from the beach. Ocean Springs is the second best schooling district in the state of Mississippi. Although on paper the crime levels do let Ocean Springs down a little, but locals assure that the area is safe and secure with a strong sense of southern hospitality.
All right, it's on the Gulf Coast.
Jorge is on.
I thought so, man, because I'm gonna show y'all a map in a minute. We got 3 more to go. Number 3 is what? Hold on, let me turn the value back on.
The city of Clinton can be found in Hinds County and is home to 25,475 happy residents. Local people are keen to note that Clinton is perfect for families, and with 25 schools on offer and a whole host of entertainment facilities, we can see why. One local resident commented, "Family belongs here, business belongs here, and you belong here." And what more can we add? The community of college students who live here for only parts of the year are an important part of the community, and the local people love having them around.
All right, real quick. Let me pause real quick. Matter of fact, we might not even worry about the other 2. We'll come back. We'll do the other 2. It's only 2. So here's the thing. Education and religion. Let me say that again. Education and religion. Towns are built around 3 things. Education, like colleges and great high schools. That's how you get somewhere like what's the name? Oak Hill, the high school of Oak Hill, where all the basketball players go, right? Because their whole economy is the school. People build industry around schools, right? In Chicago, well, the northern suburb of Chicago is Evanston. Evanston has Northwestern University. They built an entire town, the township of Evanston, to support Northwestern University. So you get movie theaters, you get shopping areas, you get residents, you get hot dog stands because schools. And people never gonna stop fucking, so you can always have a school. You feel me? That's how I know Umar Johnson full of shit, but I digress. So, and the other thing is religion. You build a town based on a belief, and then people in that town follow the belief. I would not doubt for a minute that those are Christian small towns where everybody shows up at church on Sunday, and when you don't, you're missed. The third thing you build a town on is industry. And that's cool when there's industry. But when you looked at the first video with the homie Tommy, Mayor Tommy, industry left, the city left. Now he's begging for a dollar store. They can't even get a Family Dollar in that bitch. Industry is cool. It's a lot of places like that though. Gary, Indiana with the steel mill. Gary just gave the steel mill not only tax free, they don't even have to pay property tax, but they also get a stipend just to stay there because that's the only thing in Gary, Indiana. If the steel mill leaves, everybody will be in dire straits. Same thing for Detroit. That's how Detroit got bailed out with the auto. They already lost Motown, right? Detroit, China just bought Detroit over the last, since 2010. China spent a decade buying up Detroit, but before then, before the market crash hit in 2008, Detroit was fucked up in like 2004. Like abandos everywhere, like they main street ain't had no businesses. They downtown was shit. Like when y'all look at the videos of Detroit and you see Joe Lewis's fist, they only show you that side of the street because if you looked on the other side of the street, everything abandoned in that bitch. It's when the industry leaves and you're based on industry, technology changes industry and it'll change your population and it'll change, which changes your crime rate, changes your aspirations, makes your toddler even harder. It's a bad situation. So I salute Clinton for having a college town. Same thing I could say for Evanston, Illinois, or damn, what's the name of that city in Ohio? Well, Ohio State at, but any of those places, right? Because schools are stable. As long as people are fucking, schools are stability. Anyway, let's go back to the video real quick. I'm gonna get these last two out, then I'm gonna show y'all something. Number 2, Ridgeland. All right.
Madison is the city of Ridgeland. Almost matching Madison in terms of population, Ridgeland is the home of 24,270 people, but house prices are far more affordable. Averaging at a median value of $176,100, house prices in Ridgeland are much more agreeable than Madison, which are also pretty agreeable. If you liked everything about
Number 1 is Madison. Go figure, right?
160 people. This is a reasonably affluent area, and this is reflected in the above-average house prices.
All right. So we saw those 10 affluent cities, right? I want to show you guys something. Do I have a bigger picture of this? I gotta make the picture bigger. All right, so I want to show you guys this real quick. Before I click on the photo, man, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll read it out to you. I'm pretty sure you guys can see it. The population distribution of Mississippi, the racial makeup is as follows. Black or African American, 36%, white, 56%. Then they have a 5% biracial, but whatever. Right? 6 plus 62. So that's 92% right there. Then 5 and then 2. All right. So everybody either black or white, right? This is. Let me get the right map. Okay, these are districts by race. Let me click this picture. I want to show y'all this. Nah, this ain't the one. Hold on. This ain't the picture. It's one by race. Nah, this ain't it. Hold on. Where's that? It is. It says white. The whites are in red. The blacks are in blue. Hold on. So let's go back. I wonder why I switched up though. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Can y'all see what I'm saying, bro? Like right here when they talk about districts by race, they talking about white. 80 of them are white. 42 are black people. The black ones are in various colors of blue. The whites are in various colors of red. But when I click the actual photo, it's the same picture, but now they're talking about GOP. That's weird. That's weird. Anyway, but even if you go by that, right? Black people being, well, actually, black people down south kind of vote Republican too. I'm going over. Bro, that's crazy. How do you switch up like that though? Hold on. Hold on. Maybe it's another map on the map. Maybe all these maps. Here we go. Here we go. See if I can make this bigger. Quit playing with me. There we go. White and black. This is the Mississippi Delta. When we started off and I started talking about how all the way down to Mississippi, they let the Asians get the commerce and wouldn't allow the black people that lived in that area to do commerce. These are the poorest areas in Mississippi. Which I find amazing, by the way, because it's on the water. There is no other place besides Cleveland that I can think of that a city is built on the water and everybody broke like that. I mean, it can be too expensive for people to live, but people ain't just begging you like, man, the houses out here $4 and nobody want to move in for $4. That doesn't happen on waterfront property. That's why I asked when we were talking about whatever city I said, is that on the coast or the Gulf? It's in the Gulf. Shout out to XL Pro. That's in the Gulf. The Gulf is an entirely different thing because the Gulf was always considered quote unquote oceanfront property, but Gulf property. You know what I mean? And these are some of the most prominent places. When they start talking about the Hattiesburgs and the Greenvilles, all those are in the white districts. When they start talking about, man, we got a lot for $5,000, but I'll take $1,500. We talking around here. We talking on the Mississippi Delta. I don't know what's going on right here. It's probably white folks though. Not it is white folks. They must be the poor whites. Shout out to the poor whites, man. If it wasn't for poor whites, we wouldn't be able to do the Angry Snow Show. Shout out to the poor whites. Galveston, Texas is still on the Gulf, but that's over there. It's a couple. Galveston, Texas is out. It's a suburb of Houston, though. Houston is ghetto. Look, we used to go to the Kappa Beach party in Galveston, nigga, in the 2000s. We been slutted out Galveston, bro. Our bad, bro. Our fault, B. You know what I'm saying? We was just young and dumb, man. Them college boys had the girls busting it wide open, bro. That's somebody mama today, though, so respect.
Mama,
Anyway, so when they started talking about the 10 most affluent, and I started putting the name of the cities next to this map, everything makes sense. Y'all gotta understand this too. Jackson, Mississippi, for instance, right? I'm gonna click on Jackson. Jackson, Mississippi is black and white, right? So you have white districts and you have black districts. Jackson, Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken, and let me look this up real quick before I Angry Snowman live in Indiana. He from Ohio though, so he understand. Let me make sure before I say this right. I want to make sure I'm right about the information I'm about to give. But if I'm not mistaken, see, you got me thinking Gary, Indiana. Jackson, Mississippi has separated their city by race. Hold on, let me make sure I'm thinking about it right. Jackson, Mississippi, and I meant city for white district. Yeah, it was Jackson, Mississippi. I knew that shit, bro. Let me show y'all this real quick. I gotta make it bigger. I knew it was Jackson. I be knowing stuff. Girls just be doing stuff. February 2023. Hold on, make it bigger. Make sure y'all can see this. February 2023, the Mississippi House of Representatives voted to create a separate court system and police force in Jackson, Mississippi. The bill would require white state officials to appoint judges and prosecutors in Jackson. The bill will also have an expanded police force to remove the right to vote from black people. Man, you can't make this up.
Hell no, to the no. Yeah.
Them coloreds down in Jackson are buckwilding so much that the white people want to have a separate Jackson, Mississippi for whites and black. They want to bring segregation back, my nigga.
Hey y'all, Masters are coming. He's a coming, y'all. Masters are coming. Here he comes.
Look, guys, you asked me to take.
You look at all the shit that's going on. All this shit is second and third generation Mississippi niggas, bro. No bullshit. Chicago, Mississippi niggas. Detroit, Mississippi niggas. Cleveland, Mississippi niggas. Cincinnati, Mississippi niggas. Mississippi niggas. Atlanta, Mississippi niggas. By proxy is Chicago and Detroit. Mississippi niggas is the worst niggas in America once you put too many Mississippi niggas together, bro. Nobody talks about the source. People talk about the crime in Chicago all the time. They never talk about grandma living in Mississippi. People talk about the desperation of Cleveland and Detroit all the time. Nobody talk about grandma, they grew up in Mississippi. Nobody talks about how these vagrants from Mississippi are like ground zero of debauchery and fuckery. Nobody talks about that. Then when you go to Mississippi, apparently the only ones left in Mississippi are the peace-abiding people. Even though, hold on, I gotta give shout out to my man. What's my man's name? Oh, that wasn't it.
We're anesthesiologists, surgeons, emergency medicine physicians, pain management specialists. We're the largest provider of doctors into first-tier U.S. residency.
Shut down the page. Y'all running commercials on the shutdown page. That's crazy. I do gotta give a shout out to my homie.
Every single day I'm sitting in my
to the homie right here, man. Hold on. So that one little town with the $5,000 lot Salute to the big homie right here. Salute to the big homie right here. Because he might be the mayor, but he keep it on him, nigga. He keep it on him. Let me turn around. Turn around. Oh, yeah, turn around. He keep it on him. You see it right there, right? He keep it on him. He ain't playing. He the mayor and he top flight security of the world, Craig. Top flight security of the world. The more that you can, yeah, facts, man. Facts excel, they can keep it on them, bro. The truth of the matter is, man, I'm not going to say that human nature isn't human nature, but I am going to say you know a fruit by its seed. You don't know the fruit by the dirt. Y'all give the dirt way too much credit as colors, right? Y'all get the dirt so much credit that y'all had different fathers and you call your sibling your half brother. But if you got different fathers, you call your mama mama and say that's your brother and sister. Y'all, how are you an apple tree and they a goddamn weed and you think y'all the same? You know a fruit by its seed. So if your daddy had an apple tree with another woman, both of y'all apples, my nigga. Y'all got life mixed up. Matriarchy is slavery, my nigga. And Mississippi was a slave state. So I understand. I got to deprogram you colors. Y'all letting girls talk with clothes on, make decisions and shit. Look, Mississippi is the seed for all this bullshit. But Mississippi itself is just land. It's just people. You see when the colors do shit, they're reactive. And everybody poor. When non-blacks do shit, people are prospering. But I'm not gonna discount the fact that they have been conditioned to do so based on local laws because black people hate authority. Black men hate authority. Black women always want to be in control of some stupid shit. They always want to be state's attorneys and mayors, and run a goddamn nonprofit or some goofy ass shit. Black women always want to control something. They don't know what the fuck they doing. They just want to fuck it up and have black men come and correct their shit for free. They just dumb bitches. But black men act like they're afraid of authority. And because of that, they're not proactive. So you're looking at, and when you say that, think about this. They tell you, man, don't be police, right? They be like, fuck the cops. Don't be no pig. Don't be no police. Police is a position of authority. They keep order. Even if you discount the law part, they keep order. They talk about, man, I don't want to be no teacher because teaching don't pay shit. McDonald's don't pay shit either, nigga. Warehouse work don't pay shit neither, nigga. You don't need a degree to be a teacher. You need a degree to be in a teacher's union, but fuck that union. Go out here and teach and be a better teacher. That's why boys' schools had 99% graduation rates. In schools where girls teach, it's a 47% graduation rate for black boys. We could take this whole motherfucking... Slavery gonna be so easy, bro. Slavery is gonna be so easy. We'll be able to take over the small towns without a pistol, my nigga. With a Dollar Tree. We're gonna be able to take over the small towns with a Family Dollar, my nigga. Train the shooters, come back and take over the big towns. But Mississippi is ground zero of most of the debauchery you see outside of New York. New York got their own thing going on. New York is its own little planet. DC area, the same thing. The DMV area, they a different type of southerner, but they country too, but they a different type of country. Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit, St. Louis, same type of country. They Mississippi country. And even the Baltimore area, they more like New York. They country, but they get a lot of influence from New York because New York and Philly be going down there. New York and Philly don't be bum rushing Mississippi. All the places y'all be like, I never visit that. Second and third generation Mississippi. Still go to Mississippi every summer for the family reunion. I promise you that. I'm trying to tell you, Space Kitchen, y'all, man, y'all niggas be acting like I'm crazy. They be like, man, dirty folks be telling wild stories. That niggas nut. Nah, bro, I be trying to tell y'all what God love, man. But you gotta want the power, bro. You gotta want the power to change. You gotta hate enough to change, bro. Do you hate your status in the world enough to rebrand and make a change? Do you hate your status enough? Do you want to be seen in esteem? Do you want to be able to walk in the room and people see you as a great man, or do you want your women to tell you how you ain't never built shit? What do you want? You want to die as a man or die as a black? Because you can't do both. I promise y'all, if y'all man up, get rid of this black shit and just be like, yo, we rebranded, we tried. Nigga, even the white nationalists will rock with you. They'll be like, yeah. They'll help you train a shooter so you can go back and take over Detroit. They don't give a fuck, bro. Because at the end of the day, most men just want to be nationalists. They don't mean they want to be American. Most men want to be nationalists. If they're Mexican, they come to America, get their money. What do? Go to the fucking currency exchange and send all their money back to Mexico. Because that's their nation. They're nationalists. The same can be said for everybody. I ain't sure about Nigerians. Nigerians be shady. Maybe they send money back. But I can say the same thing for Jamaicans, for Haitians, for Asians. The Asians give so much money to the Asian consulate. That's how they get Asian crime bills and things of that nature. Everybody's a nationalist. Everybody's a tribalist. Except black men. Black men are a colorist. They too fucking inclusive. Everybody, oh, you black, you black. You brown, you black. You red, you black. You yellow, you black. You beige, you black. You African, you black. You from the Caribbean, you black. You're a dark-skinned Mexican. If you shave your hair bald, you black. The fuck? No pride? No courage? All this space and opportunity? All this fucking space and opportunity. Matter of fact, man, I'm giving y'all what God love, man. Support the show.
Hey, baby. How much do you need?
Not much. Just enough for a new wig and a BBL.
Can dirty folks get some cash apps too, please, kind sir?
Look, man. This is not as hard as you think. People will welcome you in. Y'all want to hear a quick story about conquering? When and shout out to community anthropology, I think it was. He showed a video that stated something I always said when the barbarians are at the gate. When they came to conquer Rome, all the shooters were already gone, right? All the shooters were already gone. All the men who got tired of gay people being all in their videos and women being all in their Senate. All the men who got tired of all the goddamn rainbow flags and all the diversity, equity, and inclusion. They said, man, fuck Rome, man. We following Constantine, man. We joining death row. All the alpha men, all the alpha Romans left Rome, moved to Turkey, which they renamed Constantinople, and then they started the Second Holy Roman Empire. Before then, it wasn't no goddamn Christianity. The goddamn it, I can't say his name. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Constantinople made Christianity the primary religion. Before then, they were on polytheism. They were talking about Zeus and Poseidon and Apollo. He was like, nah, let them fucking women, gays, and felons have that shit. We gonna try Jesus. and they built an entire empire that translated at some time to the Byzantine Empire, then the Ottoman Empire. But that was the same structure for the Second Holy Roman Empire. So when the barbarians came to the gate of Rome, nobody was there but the goddamn gays and women. As a matter of fact, when they finally came to conquer Rome and found out that it was nothing but gays and women, and they opened the doors and begged them, like, please, I gotta use the gay voice. The gay and the woman voice is the same voice today.
Please, please conquer us, barbarians. Please don't kill us. Please, Lord, give us mercy. You can have what you want. You can have what you want.
They sacked the town. Then they went from town to town outside of Rome, all through Italy, burning and sacking the towns. Because a government's number one responsibility is to protect its borders. Somebody needs to tell Biden that, by the way. A government's responsibility, number one responsibility, is to protect the borders. Number two is to provide human services, make sure everybody has food and water. Not even necessarily shelter, just to be able to feed people and protect your perimeter. And Rome failed on both accounts. So y'all remember the movie Lord of the Rings, the second one, Return of the King? When all of the hitters left because the king got possessed, so all the hitters left, and they were easily conquered because all the shooters was going. It was like, fuck it, Riders of Rodan, we out this bitch. And they just the Riders of Rodan, they just going pillaging villages and deleting people and snatching coochie because they didn't have leadership, but they was the killers. And then when the king finally got his mind back, the Riders of Rodan came back. But before then, they was like, yo, we the shooters. Without the shooters, man, the women and children, Two Towers, thanks, Cybertoxin, the Two Towers. You know what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find that scene, by the way, because I want y'all to, because this isn't really my assumption of what Rome is. I could really find a video of Rome if I really wanted to tell y'all what Rome was. But I think the reenactment on this was a pretty good reenactment. Rohan, my bad. It's an H, not a D. Okay. You know what? Let's see right here. Beats King. Because they're showing the whole war scene. I don't want the whole war scene. I want that one scene where they went to see the king. Is this it? This ain't it. This is after the fact, but we're going to show this anyway. I'm going to show y'all this anyway. Because I show so much stuff, I'm not going to monetization of rap. So I might as well make the point. But this one actually is Return of the King. This scene. But the one I'm talking about is in the Two Towers. It's definitely in the Two Towers. Matter of fact, I want to show y'all what I want to show y'all. This ain't it. But this is the king when the king got his mind back. And that was the Riders of Rodan. They finally came back to him. But that ain't the one I want to show y'all. Hold on, man. I want to show y'all the one from Two Towers. Because that's the one that matters. When hold on. They bullshit, bro. Maybe I should have learned his name. I remember the movie. I've seen the movie a few times. All right, here we go.
If you're a web designer, here are 4 Wix Studio features you gotta know.
I guess that's not how. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Let me slow it down. All he has behind him is a bunch of old people and women. He got about 2 hitters, and the 2 hitters ain't even hitting. When them boys came in, and these the good guys, right? These the good guys. But when the boys came in and hit,
Stop!
and my man was about to pull his sword, and this boy was like, nah, it ain't worth it. All you see is old people and women. The shooters don't even want to shoot. Because that's what happens when you lose your best and brightest from a town that becomes deserted. When you lose your shooters, Rome gets sacked. And this is what was happening right here. About to knock him out the thing. Okay, cool. I want to hear his first words when he come to though. Skip a lot of this. Oh, they ain't play the part I wanted to hear when he said, "Man, where's my son?" They like, "Your son is dead." And he just started crying. He was like, "Where my hitters?" Like, "Your hitters is on a mountainside getting it in." And he was like, "Man, I lost everything," because he lost his hitters, and he lost his right hand. And that's what has happened to America in general. In general, men have lost their way. You know, let these girls put clothes on and talk. And then while they talking, all they want to talk about is how they taking their clothes off, but you can't look at them and all type of dumb shit. How they want to be in position of authority, but they can't count. Ask a girl what her the class she hates the most. They all gonna say math. Bitches can't count 10 months a year, and then in January and February they swear to God they know how to do taxes. It's the craziest shit. It's the craziest phenomenon. Bitch download a Quicken app, and all of a sudden she a tax preparer, but she can't count March through motherfucking December. It's crazy as shit. But this is an easy takeover because I believe in men. I believe that men can beat a girl. I believe men can beat a girl, bro. You can't outfeel a woman, but you can outthink a woman easily. You can easily outthink a woman. Hold on, man. I'm getting phone calls in this bitch. So, but you can easily beat a girl. You can outthink a girl. What girls do is they work on your empathy. They work on your egalitarianism. They want you to be powerless. They want to see your sensitive side. And because of that, you can't lead. You're so concerned about things being what you think is equal, but it's not equal. You just want things to be fair and be cool because men are simple creatures. You just want things to be simple. That is not how women work. So you give and you give, hoping it'll make her happy. But girls can't be happy. Goddamn it. Motherfucking Travel One come here every goddamn day. Is Travel One ever happy, nigga? Like ever? I don't even be talking about girl. I think I started this show talking about how the Chinese got the jobs on the goddamn Delta because they were trying to fucking use sanctions on black people. It's like, oh, y'all back. Nigga, this is historical fact. It was a Chinese video telling you that's what happened for the Chinese. Look, girls ain't never happy because girls will never want to see you happy. Girls want you to be miserable because it sucks to be a girl. There's nothing a girl does with clothes on that they happy about. Nothing. That's why when they go home, they just drink wine. They all fucking winos and weed heads. They not happy people. The only happy women you see are women who are great toddlers for their husband. When they have adult supervision, those are only happy ones, man. A woman in love can look good into her 50s. A single woman start looking hard at 32. They need men to keep their youth. Like, these girls are not. I ain't making this about girls. I'm making this about guys, but I'm telling you, if that's all you worried about, and black is a matriarchy, you could be matriarchy. If whites are cuckold, you could be cuckold. Because all they want to do is watch you fuck the bitches. Literally. This is an easy walkthrough, man. In 80% of America. This is a program that 80% of America can get down with. Tribe up, guys. Tribe up. Support the show, man. Support the story. I would have opened up the panel, man, but I only had 3 people support. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all, man. I ain't gonna be here another 2 hours. Ain't nobody really supporting the show. So, as always, I hope y'all got something from it, man. Clip, share the video, man. Help your boy out. Matter of fact, I ain't even got that clip up here. I don't even use a clip no more. Do I even use a clip no more? Nope, I don't even use a clip no more. Anyway, so as always, bros, I appreciate y'all sliding through, man. I hope y'all got something, man. Share the video, man. Whatever the case may be, man. Hope the daycare get bigger, man. As always, and train your toddlers, man. As always, man, love your brothers as you love yourself. Feed the pack. Tribe up.
Until it became hard between his fingertips, while his right hand eased her love lips. Nikki Mullins' finger darted across her slippery, which is when she felt her insides being split by the thickness, gasped for breath as water stroke after stroke. Her legs quaked and her muscles, oh shit, Dion, at the top of her lungs, and swallowed his meat whole. Her hands grabbed his hips, and she pushed and pulled, forcing him to thrust his pole back and forth against her twisting tongue as it gradually turned into more than she could swallow. She moved her hands to the shaft and
Crusader Publishing, where books come to life. Toddler tales are crazy stories that could only happen to me. Each tale is endorsed by Toddlerology and the Marry Your Secretary courses. In a world where toddlers are only loyal to her employer, learn the skills needed to train your toddler to work at your relationship like she works at her job. There's courses for every level of your relationship status, including polygamy. Need support? Join scheduled study groups with other Toddlerology members. Click the link below. And now, back to today's story.